Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Trademark Sports Podcast. We're here to talk all things footy from the last week because footy is back and we are so stoked about it. What we're going to do today is just run through some talking points from all the games and that sort of thing, and some like NRL news. We're also going to be introducing Murray Ross Medal, rather. Basically just a Dally M of our podcast because will be the most prestigious award any of these players will ever win. And then
100%.
we'll give
I'll be striving towards it, thinking about it,
exactly
Lane.
right. I'm sure they go out there every week wanting to win the Murray Ross medal for the inaugural time. And then we will get onto some tips for the upcoming round, which will be a bit tough because we are recording this on a Monday night and obviously the team lists aren't out. So there's a couple of things up in the air, but you know what? We'll get to it. So first off, Dano, how are you? How was your
Mate,
weekend?
it was great. Great weekend. Played me first trial game of footy for the year, which is very good. Good time. A little bit sore, body's hurting, but I'm keen. I'm keen for this next week of footy.
That's it. And it's just, you can feel it in the air, although it's still bloody hot. There's just footy's back and it just feels good, feels right.
I'll drink to that.
Right. So we'll get on to this weekend's games. First, like just some talking points. I want to talk about a couple of things from the Eel Storm game to get us kicked off. First off, Jermaine Hopgood. I've been talking about him for months, and he went out there and proved me right. He is a machine. What do you reckon about Jermaine
Yeah.
Hopgood, Dano?
Your man, yeah. Well, I really like him. He's one of those players that I really like. He's an absolute workhorse, a middle forward. I fucking love them blokes. I'm a really big fan of his, and he had an awesome game. I hope he keeps doing so for the rest of the year.
Well, that's it. Like he's not flashy in any way, shape, or form. He went out and made 57 tackles in his club debut, and just I think he
Uh,
took 20 something runs as well. It's just how Origin Smoky.
yeah, is he a Queenslander or New South Wales?
He's a Queenslander.
Oh fuck!
I know, Devo, eh? Like they got all your boys there, Ruben Cotter, and, like,
All the,
my
all
boy
the
Hopgood.
hard working boys, with heart and just to have a go, they all happen to be Queenslanders. It makes
Yeah,
me.
shithouse. Speaking of
Oh,
Queenslanders, though, uh,
yeah.
it just I can't believe he went out there and still played rugby league after what he did. Cameron Munster is he's got issues, bro.
He
He's
doesn't have issues. He's got heart.
no, he's got to be mentally not there. Like he had a
Hey,
he dislocated
everybody who
his
plays
finger
rugby
and
league
his
has to be
finger was.
mentally not there.
Yeah, I get that. But like his finger was coming, like his bone was coming through his skin, and he still went out there and played over half a game of rugby league. It just, ugh.
I
You got to
love
be
it.
some
I
sort
love
of
that.
sick. Like, obviously, if you're a Storm player, you look over in your change room and there's a bloke doing that. Like, you're obviously gonna go, well, and there's this thing. Like, probably make an example out of him because this week at training, like, if you're there, you're tired. Just look over at your mate there who just played half a game with a dislocated finger. Like, you got nothing.
100%, 100%. And that's what the young blokes need, a senior player like Munster standing up. And, most blokes, oh, my bone's pumping through my finger. He just goes, fuck that, put it back in, take the thing up, and then
Yeah, you
fucking.
got a game of footy to win.
Yeah.
And like as well, because there is, I suppose, a lot of like not culture shift, but a lot of roster shift and that, like a lot of new personnel within that club. Having Munster come through and sort of instill that storm, like so what I'm
Yes.
looking for,
Stormness.
stormness, sure. Into those young blokes, it's probably something that Bellamy like really proud of for him. For is anything else you want to bring up from the Eel Storm game?
No, not really. I think you covered most of it. It was an awesome game to kick off the season. A good, healthy crowd there. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Tell you what else was awesome. Watching the Panthers get beat again. The Broncos. How good.
Yeah, I don't know. Why does everyone want to see the Panthers get beaten? Like, I
Because
like
it's the tall poppy syndrome of Australia. It's everyone 2020 when they were the young team coming through, all these young boys. How good's this? How good's like a new team coming to challenge the Storm and challenge the Roosters, and then now they're the best team in the comp by a long way. Everyone's fuck them, and that's it's
it's
just
fine.
it's the Australian way, unfortunately. But I just
Oh,
think like it's funny. So ever since Nathan Cleary did the ice in his vein celebration, they haven't won. And I saw as a account on Twitter, the Sack Report posted. It was funny as it's come on my phone notification. Breaking news, like Ivan Cleary says. I was like, oh shit, what's this? Go in there. It's like breaking. Ivan Cleary says that Nathan had the wrong ice in his veins this evening.
No,
So
that's good.
it was just such shit chat. But I think like release like some videos and stuff going into a bit of detail about it. But I reckon the Broncos just got them through the ruck. It's like the play the ball speed and everything from the like Panthers was way down on what it usually is, and compared to the Broncos was way down as well. So the Broncos were able to get their line set more, and then because Panthers were buggered from getting just done in the wrestle, then in the defense they couldn't give as much. So I think that's really the middles really stepped up for the Broncos, especially Payne Haas and Carrigan.
Yeah, they did. They played really well, and Adam Reynolds really took that opportunity and capitalized on it massively.
Mm.
I watched when he scored the try. Who did he put over? Did he put Farnworth over? He passed right at the line, and just the class of Adam Reynolds and the skill. You just like you said. I noticed it just after a couple of replays. He gets the ball, and he just holds the ball for about just a half a second, and he just allows Stephen Crichton to come out of the line. Just that because everything happens so quick. Just that extra half a second holding the ball, allowing Crichton to come out, and then he gives it to Farnworth, and Farnworth goes through. It just really showed the class of Adam Reynolds. Yeah, he really impressed me. He's just, yeah, I think that's the only word I can use to describe it. Class. He just that second holding the ball and then pass, try.
I think like that's just the experience factor as well, and that's probably like this
Yeah,
Broncos team. If everything goes well, that they could do good things. Like they were killing it last year, like top four for so long. It's like if Reynolds, we talk about it a bit with the Cowboys over the recent weeks. It's like they've got a mix of young and old. Like Reynolds can really like they've got the young pups in there to like have the energy and like give it to teams as we saw on the weekend. And then Reynolds just to steer the ship, guide them around, get them to where they got to be, and stand up when it matters. Like this is the thing. Had he have not taken the field goal with like 6 or 7 minutes to go, when Panthers score that try right at the end, it's on and it's into extra time, and then Panthers could come away with the win. So just little things like that, just thinking like outside the box of what like a normal person would, and someone without that experience would.
yeah, no, 100%. You're right. He's a very good, I think, underrated player too. I don't think he's.
Especially like now in his older age, for sure. I think people just expected him to drop off, but he's still up there.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your Knights?
Oh, this game I actually didn't get to see much of because I was driving up the coast. But I saw the last 10 minutes of it. From highlights and that and everything I've heard, the Knights had a go.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
gonna say like, that's one thing. They played better than I expected. They had a bit more ticker and heart than usual. Kalen Ponga did look good at the six at the start of the game as well.
yeah, well, when I rocked up to where I was going, I put on the TV and I didn't listen to it on the radio on the way up there, and I was expecting just to flick it over, see Warriors 36, Knights 8 or something. And I seen how close it was before they scored that last try. And I thought, shit, we're on here. And I was on the edge of my seat watching it. The Knights were having a crack, having a go. And I thought, fuck, we're going to win this. But it wasn't to be. That's okay. Only round one. But yeah. From all accounts, it wasn't to do with a lack of effort. It was just Warriors just a better side on the day.
Yeah, that's it. I think like you can be proud of the way that they played, and there's some encouraging signs there for sure. Getting back over, I reckon if that game was played like in Newcastle, they probably get the 2 points. So at least
I
there's
think
that to be
so.
happy with. Over to
Yeah.
like this Saturday's games. First one, so the old Dogs of War come out and got their asses handed to them. I thought it was actually quite funny. Poor old Matt Burton probably played the worst game I've seen him play in the NRL.
Yeah. Wasn't real good, was it? Kick out with his kick out. Just nothing seemed like that one.
That was terrible.
It wasn't terrible. Anyway, nothing seemed to go right for him. Just wasn't the dog's day, and it.
That's it. Yeah, I think
Which
like
happens.
they'll be fine. It's just a gelling thing. It's just like in attack there. It's like backline moves and stuff. It's a bit out of sync. Even Manly, honestly, I didn't think they actually played that crash hot. Obviously they ran in a few tries and that sort of thing, and like a couple of TCS tries, like there's an intercept and then that like weird grubber kick thing where he body checked Adakar out of the way. So you take those two, it looks a lot better. But I was gonna say, oh yeah, it's like with the same thing as the Dogs is with Manly. Their like backline plays, they just, especially Turbo, he just looked a bit. I don't know if he was a bit like a couple seconds in front or behind, but they didn't look fantastic.
Yeah, Oh, probably a lot of nerves going into the game. Not just about playing, but he's probably real nervous about injuring himself again.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. He's got stuff in the back of his mind, I guess.
oh, 100%. That would play on you. Like the amount of injuries he's done to that hamstring, like it must just be going through his head. Like he wants to accelerate, he wants to sprint down the field, but he's probably just got a little voice in the back of his head saying, don't take off too quick. You'll do your
Yeah, we're
hamstring,
up here. Yeah,
which is a really hard thing to deal with for him because he wants to play his best footy, but he wants to be out there so he can play his best footy. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. I think that's something that like people don't really take into account when they like talk about rugby league players and just sport in general. It's just the mental aspect. Like I reckon, like 80% of the game's probably mental. It's like
Oh,
if you're taking a hit up and like right off the own line and defense is jammed in and you're going to get pumped. If you're sitting there thinking, oh, fuck, I'm going to get destroyed here, you'll take two steps and get taken back five. But you're like, nah, you got to try and stop me. It's just like the mental, like the mindset of it. They like you might end up being the run that puts you like on the right foot for the front foot for the rest of the set.
it's like when you're lined up as a front rower for the first kickoff of the game at the back of the field, that the mental challenge to get yourself up for that. You know what I mean? There's no easing into it, period. There's no, this is, you don't get a feel for how hard the game is. You're just standing back there thinking, this ball's coming to me. I've got to set the tone of it and I've got to run, and it's not like a run having a hit up where you can take someone with you and, dummy it or, take some flies over. You're out there on your own running it back, 10, 20, 30 meters against a team of 13 blokes that are trying to kill you.
Yeah, and it's like the line's so set off a kickoff as well. Like they're just a brick wall. Like there's no there's no person sort of lagging behind, especially if like first kickoff of the game. Like, oh fuck me.
100%. You're going to get whacked, but it's just up to you to say, I will get whacked, but I'm going to get, I'm going to make 30 meters before I get whacked, and I'm not going to get driven back. And it's a massive it just goes to show that rugby league players all have something mentally wrong with them, especially front rowers, because why would you do that by choice?
Yeah, that's it. And one of those mentally just bit tapped front rowers who had another day out again for the Cowboys, Ruben Cotter. I thought he was really impressive. He's like the Cowboys, like because I was driving while this game was on and sort of like had to stop and check the score, and they were up, I think, 3 tries to one or to nothing. I was like, oh,
Yep.
Cowboys gonna run away with this. And then I checked the score and I got there and I was like, oh my God. They just find a way. And I think that's what the good teams do.
Yeah. Good teams. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You said it.
And it's like, and then like nearly the exact same thing we were speaking about just before the Broncos Adam Reynolds is that Chad Townsend. He's seen so many scenarios in rugby league, just knows when he's like to pick and choose his time and get his team the 2 points.
Yeah, 100%. You got to experience that class as well. That I think you gain with age. And yeah, he led him around the park. He did a really fantastic job, obviously, of getting them the win. And yeah, I've got high hopes for the Cowboys this season. I know it's only been one round, but I've got real high hopes for them.
But props to the Raiders though. I thought they were going to get there and get like towed up. To be honest, it's up in like Townsville, hot as different heat to Canberra as well. I thought they was going to get there and just get folded, but they stuck it to them.
Yeah, it's a real wet heat up there,
and
it's
disgusting,
gross and wetty, and it's where they, like they got in the swamps where them dirty Queenslanders hatch from.
Yeah. Next. Okay. So any thoughts from the Sharks Rabbitohs game? I thought it was a really good game. Probably one of the games of the round for me. And like wasn't really decided. I suppose Rabbitohs led most of the way, but wasn't really decided right to the end when they got a couple late tries and really put some damage to the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I've seen Ilias, obviously young Ilias. I don't know where he's been hiding that kind of play, but he's he just from straight away, just the effort that he showed to knock that ball out.
That was so good.
9 times out of 10, Mulatalo scored. 99 times out of 100, Mulatalo scores that try.
Yeah.
He, and he even had the smile on his face about to dive over. Like,
that was the best bit about it, eh?
And Ilias just came out of nowhere and going, nah, bang, knocked the ball out. It was awesome, man. It was a really good game. That kick was it Trindle that scored it when he kicked it through like 3 or 4 times for himself?
Yeah.
That was, because I think it went through like 4, 5, 6 sets of hands, just offload, offload, offload. Kennedy gets the ball and goes, grubber, chases through, picks it up, and then hits an absolute shocker of a grubber again. But Trindle runs through, toes it forward, toes it forward, toes it forward. It bounces up and he dives on it. It was crazy.
Right place, right time. It just worked. Usually it's
Yeah.
like, oh, are you serious? And then he just pulls it off, like just out of his
Yeah,
ass. Like, come on.
Is it luck or are they just that good?
Yeah. But like, if you're a
fun?
Rabbits fan watching that, you're on it. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
how?
Yeah, there are so many things that could have gone wrong. Like, and somehow everything just went. Oh, it didn't go right, but but they made it.
Well, it worked
work.
out.
Yeah. Everything worked out. Like how?
It's like, and then it's just, yeah, but it's like a dribbler like me. Are you trying to do it? It's just like you'd fall over the ball.
100% you would. If fucking do a front flip, make yourself look like an idiot.
I tell you, like there was some like players for South. I was really impressed with Campbell Graham again. Another bloke that I'm saying Origin Smoky, like obviously Trell and Turbo are like the obvious picks, but they're like definitely not known for their durability, I'll say. So Campbell, I reckon he's got to be next up. He's got so good defensively as well, but his attacking plays like gone up like tenfold. That right side though as well. Koloamatangi was on smoke as well.
Yeah, they're really good. Campbell Graham, he was good for Australia too. Campbell Graham was really good for Australia, so he can stand up in a rep jersey. I know it was only against Scotland, but them tough carries he had off that. I know he played wing, but I think he's got that in him. What it needs to be an Origin player, I think.
Yeah, you can only beat what's put in front of you, mate.
Yeah, 100%, and he did that, and he did that well. But yeah, no, he really impressed me, Campbell Graham. It goes to show the depth that New South Wales has in like sort of that back five category. Like the winger, fullback, and centre depth for New South Wales is pretty.
Oh, it's stupid, bro. Like Suoliti still has to get a spot in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Like I think he has to get picked this year, and that means you're leaving either Tot or Adakar out.
You think he has? Why does he have to get picked?
Because he's that good, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know if he has to get picked. Like,
yes, he's literally like the prototypical like winger of what you want these days. And Freddie, like he is a Freddie Fittler man through and through. Like the way, like what he looks for in the Blues team, a big body, athletic, can take the tough carry. I think he's Daniel Tupou on steroids.
And younger.
Yeah. Like I honestly reckon he's there. If probably like as long as he's fit, I think he has a Blues jersey this year.
Right. Well, that's a big call. Big call. But
a lot of Origin chat already in this podcast, and we're in round one still. Like we're
round one. How long to Origin? How many rounds?
Too many. Let's just play Origin every weekend, I reckon.
Oh, how good would it be? And bring back the fifth in Origin.
The most entertaining, best game. Like it was so good to watch. The Dolphins, baby, getting the win over the Roosters. How good was that?
That is one of the best regular season games like I've watched in a very long time. That was so fucking good. To see the Dolphins, no one gave them a hope. I didn't give them a hope. You didn't give them a hope.
No chance.
No one gave them a chance. But they just come out there in front of their home crowd. You know, the Wayne Bennett masterclass, every single one of them dug deep and said, I'm doing this for this jersey. I'm doing it for the Dolphin. I'm doing it for Wayne Bennett. And I reckon they've earned themselves a lot of fans.
100%. And that was the thing. It was like watching the game. It was like, okay, the Roosters obviously played poor, gave up a lot of ball and stuff, but the Dolphins turned up. They started to capitalize on those errors, and they forced those errors in defense. I swear, like, their tackle technique, unbelievable. That hit on Brandon Smith. I reckon he's been wanting to do that for years. That's the way it's like seen. Like he just stood over and was like, "Oh yes."
Yeah, probably Smithy's probably been in his ear at training and that, just putting shit on the wall. And Kafusi's just going, fuck you, lined him up, crap.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kafusi, it was like every tackle, bro. It was like just up under the ball. It was like that would suck to play against. And then in attack,
he just had it in him. He just had it looked like he had the thing in him. I am going to, I'm going to do this for my team, and I'm going to hurt every single person I can get my hands on.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, but then in attack, they had so much flair. Like Jerry Marshall King, outstanding. The Hammer, outstanding. Sean O'Sullivan, apart from giving poor old Katoa about 7 hospital balls in the first half, outstanding. Katoa in the second half, when he got some decent service, outstanding. all over the park. Even like a guy, apart from, I mean, there was one really bad defensive read, but Branko Lee showed up in
Yeah.
the day. Like I looked at that, was like, oh, bro, that left side's going to have a field day for the Roosters. But
Well, there's
it wasn't that bad.
no, he was good. There's this video, and it's on Channel 9's or it's on Channel 9 Rugby League's TikTok, right? And it's one of the try. It's the try that Asako scored, where it goes from Katoa to Kafusi to Branko Lee to Asako, and Asako
Yeah.
scores. And they show it from front on, like from behind the goalpost, and you see it. And just the way those blokes move the ball, the speed that they move at, it just the way they move it, but they just look so athletic. And Asako gets the ball, and it's like he just does a little dance, just goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, yeah.
It is.
He played pretty good
awesome.
too, like Jermaine Asako.
Hey, what's that?
He played pretty good too, Jermaine Asako. I'll give him
He
credit
did.
where credit's due.
Everyone from the Dolphins was good.
I tell you what, there was like watching the Fox League coverage, and Mick Ennis said something like at the start, and it got me real riled up. And I was like, oh, like that'd be unreal if he did. And I reckon he might have too, with the way that the Dolphins captain played. It was like he reckons Wayne Bennett would have like the pre-game speech would have just had a Dolphins jersey on the floor and said like had all the words around it. Righto, at the moment, this is just a piece of cloth. That's all it is. It's up to you to go out there and tell the world what this jersey means.
Yeah.
I was just like,
that
my
too. That's
God.
awesome. Yeah. You boys decide what this jersey means.
Yeah. I was like, man, you tell me that I'm going out, I'm running through brick walls for you.
100%. And they took it upon themselves and they go, yeah, I'll fucking show you what this jersey means. And
That's
they went
it.
out
It
there.
was just like a real tough performance. And I think they've made themselves hard to beat if they go out there and play like that every week. Like that's the thing that they might they might not set the world alight, but if they can just be a solid unit, they're just going to be like, you're going to have to beat them through the grind of the game.
Yeah. I heard an interesting fact, right? There's only 7 teams that have won their first game in the competition, and 4 of them were foundation teams.
Wow. And 2 of them were coached by Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
Of those teams as well.
7, I think 7 before that game was played, so now there'd be 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there you go.
And and half foundation clubs.
Yeah, and then of the other half, Wayne Bennett.
Wayne Bennett.
Well, that's it. Like, he's gone out there, inaugural game for the Broncos, 1988, and then quick maths, 34 years later, 34. Yeah, comes out and does it again. It's just like Rugby League Guru do that thing. It's like rugby league is Wayne Bennett, or Wayne Bennett is rugby league. It's like he's the master coach.
No, he does still have it, Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
He is still that guy. He's him.
He is him. 100% he's him.
Yeah, and he's done it with different clubs now across so many, he's been in it for so long and he's changed his ways. As he's gone through, he's modernized the times. And when he can still win football games, he's still him.
That's it. We'll move on to the last game of the round, the absolute poo slinger that was the Tigers versus the Titans.
We said it was him and shit, didn't we?
Yeah.
We said last week podcast, we said, who wins this? And I said, who fucking cares?
Yeah, it's that. And I was like, one of my roommates is a Titans fan, and I said to him, like, he was getting a bit nervous, and I went, mate, I don't care who the Tigers signed. It's still the Tigers. They're still shit. Like, the fish stinks from the head. They haven't changed anything to do with their board or their backroom staff. So it doesn't matter what they do on the field. They're like, the club environment is still so toxic. I don't think they're going to fix anything till then. They looked, actually, to be fair, first half, Luke Brooks actually looked like he had a bit about him and could play some rugby league football. But apart from that, I mean, like little things like having Api Coruscant on the bench.
Captain Api Coruscant.
Just annoys me. Like, you're not the Panthers. You don't have Nathan Cleary out there. Like, stop trying to outthink the room. He's your best player. Put him on the field to start the game.
100%. I can't understand trying to play tricks and that. Oh, we're going to start him off the bench. How about you just try and win some fucking football games?
Yeah.
And just put a good team together to try. You're playing against the Titans. Just put just put your best side out there and try and win. It's stupid trying to play these tricks and that. I
agree. Like, no offense to Jake Simkin at all. Like, he actually played quite well out there, but he's not in the conversation for Origin or anything, where Coruscant's in talks as the best 9 in the comp.
Yeah.
And they looked a hell of a lot better as soon as he was out there. And it's like, if you had this from the start of the game, you would be 2 tries behind probably.
What did he play? He only played something like what 47, 57 minutes or something like
which
that.
is ridiculous when you're paying him like ridiculous money, and he's the best player in your club.
He can play 80 minutes. He is an NRL hooker. He can play 80 minutes. You want him to play 80 minutes? He'll do it.
Like I nearly guarantee you that first 5 minutes when the Titans like gave away, or was it two penalties, or like Titans didn't touch the ball for the first 5 minutes. I guarantee you, if Api Coruscant's out there, they score a try rather than being up 2-0. It's just ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know. Tim Shane's, I don't know. I'm not a coach, but I can't see what his thinking was there. Stupid.
Yeah, that was just
stupid old man.
So we've gone from Wayne Bennett can still coach, and he's him, and then just Tim Shane's stupid old man.
Yeah. Well,
so the bloke who sort of taught Wayne Bennett, I think, I don't know. They were together somewhere in there.
Yeah, because Wayne Bennett was under Tim Sheens at Canberra, wasn't he?
I don't know if the timelines actually match up, but I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Could be right.
We'll say there was, just for to pat ourselves on the back.
Another thing. If anyone wants to correct us on the comments, don't. We don't want to hear it.
Exactly right. So another thing that's changed this week, or this season, there we go, finally got there eventually, is the Dally M system. So, because I had a look at the Dally M ladder, and like, there's people on 6 points. I was like, what? What are you like? What's doing? But so there has been some changes. Have you heard about those ones, Dano?
I have. There are now 2 judges. Each will give a 3-2-1. I think they're former players.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So
I don't know who exactly they are.
They're being held anonymous, which is why you don't know who they are.
Right.
So I get it. I like that there's sort of 2 different eyes on it because, for example, Blocker Roach is.
Can you just explain?
Yeah.
How did it work last year?
So it was like it'd be 8 different people, like media personalities and stuff. Like so for example, Darren Lockyer would give out votes. Steve Roach would give out votes, that sort of thing. And that's why I think having 2, like the same 2 people for every game sort of works a bit better because it evens out a little bit more. Like Steve Roach, he's biased towards front rowers, which is fair enough. He was one of the best of his generation, and he's got an appreciation. Like he has more of an appreciation for what front rowers do compared to a Darren Lockyer, who's looking at what the halves and stuff do. So if you have 2 players, like 2 people that sort of keep in line with the same voting, it sort of makes a bit more sense. But then at the same time, you could have 2 people who just froth out on halves.
Yeah, exactly.
So then a front rower never even gets a look in for a vote. But that's what I think. I think they need to like do it more so the way the NBA do it and stuff, and have like players like a part of the vote. The fans are like, or not really fans, but like
it's not fans. Fans don't know. We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's going to be so skewed. But so like, you get like players are worth 20% of the vote. Then you have media personalities versus the rest, and it's like you got a guy from Fox Sports, 9, Daily Telegraph, was it Courier Mail, whatever?
That's that dirty Queenslander one.
Yeah, the Queensland one, and then maybe someone from like New Zealand as well as Melbourne, and then
someone from Trademark Sport.
Yeah, make sure Trademark Sports gets in there. It was like in that way, but even like so, like the big guys, so Kempy fucking gets a say.
Yeah,
like have it so like that way, and then you get 100 points to allocate 2 different players. So like you say, I think Nathan Cleary deserves 25 points, Hines 20 points, like just that way, and then whoever comes out on top of that wins like the MVP or like the Dally M. I don't know. I think the 3-2-1 voting system is just outdated because you like I don't know. There's guys at like for example, Dylan Edwards might have won the Dally M last year if that's the way they did it, but he was never going to get points in a team that has Nathan Cleary, Coruscant, Kikau, Fisher Harris, Luai, Crichton, Toto. Like, and that's sort of like the price you pay for having such a good team. But I don't know. I don't like the way the Dally M system works. Hopefully this changes it to better, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, all right. That's an interesting opinion. I'm not sure I agree with you 100% with the 100 points thing. That sounds.
Oh, that was like that's not. Like I'm just saying as an example. Like that's just come off the exact top of my head. I don't have anything written down. Like I was not prepared at all. It's a little rant, but
right.
Yeah, or even like you have like a, I don't know, 1 through 10, you pick your like what your 10 best players of the year. I don't know, but
Yep. Okay. Righto. Yeah. I see what you mean. It
so we'll
makes
see how it works this year. I think it does give the Dalian a bit more prestige again, though. It all being pretty much anonymous and like these players getting votes and
Yep.
but it'd be funny because whoever wins it this year will have the most votes of all time.
Yeah.
So there's a record being broken. Um, but speaking of Dally M's and that sort of thing, 3-2-1 systems, even though I said I hate it, we're doing one. We are going to be doing like the trademark sports podcast medal. It's going to be called the Maya Ross medal for obvious reason. It's our combined last names.
Yep.
And so we're going to go through. We're each going to have 4 games each week and give our 3-2-1s at the end of the season. We'll give a player the highest accolade they'll ever receive. So if you want to kick us off with Storm Para, mate.
Storm Para, righto. So 3 points. I've got Cameron Munster. Obviously, you got to give it to him coming on the field with that, finger. 2 points wanted to give to Jermaine Hopgood, because
Good
love
pick.
a
Good pick.
hard work in the middle, yeah. And 1 point I'm going to give to Harry Grant, score the winning try, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. And they were definitely the 3 best players out in the field. Move over. I was the voter for Warriors versus Knights. 3 points in his return for the Warriors. Chancellor Klokstad. I think he was absolutely everywhere for them and deserved a try, like 100%. Like number 2, their captain, their workhorse, like the bloke who sort of wears his heart in his sleeve no matter what for that club and has done for the last couple of years, Tohu Harris. And then my boy Jackson Ford comes through with the 1 point. I thought it was actually outstanding. It's so good to see him finally have a coach have some faith in him and get given a run. I think he was really good and got me like something like 60-something super coach points. So I'll take that. Keep the good work up, Jacko. And then we move into Panthers Broncos. I thought as we sort of spoke about before, the Broncos middles were outstanding. Payne Haas got 3 points for me. First game back from basically injury free for the last season. He had 200+ meters. And then Carrigan, he made 54 tackles, I believe, in the middle. And another reason why the Broncos were so dominant. And then for 1 point, I was going to give it to Herbie Farnworth, but I changed my mind. I'm going to give it to Adam Reynolds. I think he's pretty much the reason why he sort of was the icing on the cake for that team and why they won, deserves a point.
Yep,
now,
I agree.
Manly versus Dogs, 3 points goes to the halfback with 3 tries, Jalen Cherry Evans. Then I'm going to give 2 points. I'm going to give it to Ruben Garrick. I thought he was absolutely everywhere in that game. Even he was on the wing and then he was somehow in the middle, busting the pack, backing up, was always there. Scored a try, didn't miss a goal. Was at his best. And then 1 point, I'm going to give it to Ethan Bullymore. He really, really impressed me off the bench. I thought he absolutely gave it to that Dogs pack and really helped him get over the advantage line and get their sets on the front foot. I thought while Turbo was good, he definitely didn't have his best game. It was quite quiet. That's why I didn't give him any points. And then my last game that I voted for, so then I'll stop talking, is Cowboys versus the Raiders. So I gave your boy Ruben Cotter 3 points. Scotty Drinkwater definitely had to get a couple points there. He was really good for them. Spared himself a couple of tries. And then 1 point is my boy, please come back, Reece Robson.
Yeah, very good player, Reece Robson. Future Origin player, I think.
Yeah, again, there's been some Origin chat this year, and I'm throwing out some smokies. Reece Robson will play Origin for the Blues this year.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, actually.
Mm.
All right, on my games now. So Rabbits and Sharks, I'm going to give 3 points to young Lockie Ilias. As I said before, I don't know where he's in that form last couple of years, but last year, however long he's played, but he was really very good. Just effort on effort on effort. He definitely deserves 3 points. Campbell Graham, Stretch, the serial killer. I'll give him 2 points. He was very good. Scored 2 tries. Good. And 1 Kalamatangi. Kalamatangi played well. I think he point. He always plays well, but yeah, I'll give him a point for that. Then on to the best game of the round. Fins up, Dolphins.
Fins up, baby.
Fins up. Versus the Roosters. 3 points. Got to give it to Felice Kaufusi. He was just brilliant, just in his defense. He
just wound the clock back 5 years.
He just led his team around. just a real leader. He just said, "Boys, follow me, watch this," and just went
That's
out.
it.
And I think if he doesn't play the way he does, I don't think they win that game. 2 points got to give to the Hammer say Tabuai Fido. I thought he was fantastic. Really gets an opportunity now that he's a first choice fullback. He's not behind Scott Drinkwater, and he really showed what he can do and why he is an Origin player, and he's played Origin before. And there was 1 point I'm going to give to Jeremy Marshall King. I thought he was really
Again,
good.
well deserved.
Out of dummy half, had a lot of spark. So that's and my last game, which is the snooze fest that was the Tigers. The less said about this game, the better. 3 points, AJ Brimson. 2 points, David Fafita. 1 point, Tino Fa'asua Mala'awi.
Very, very fair. So I'm probably gonna keep you guys updated with the leaderboard and stuff throughout the year with some posts on Instagram. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right. So now that we're done with our Murray Ross medal selections for round 1, we go into some round 2 chat, and let's do some tips. There's some absolute rippers of games this year, so I'll go through them just quickly before we get into some tips. But Panthers versus Rabbitohs Thursday night. Friday night games are Eels versus Sharks and Broncos versus Cowboys. What a day of footy that is. Then we got Roosters versus Warriors. The Fins up versus Raiders.
Fins up!
Storm versus Bulldogs, Tigers versus Knights, and then that's a shit game. Sorry. These Sunday games suck. Tigers versus Knights and Dragons versus Titans. And then Manly, of course, have the bye. So let's go. Panthers versus Rabbitohs. Who you got, boy?
Panthers and Rabbitohs. I've got the Rabbitohs, actually.
Ooh.
I just I know.
You reckon the Panthers will go 0-2?
I can just see it happening. Remember, what year was it? I think it was either 2019 or 2020. Might have been 19. The Roosters started the season 0-2 and went on to win the comp. So it's not.
The Roosters are notorious bad starters, though. The Penrith aren't that. Well, from off the top of my head, aren't that?
Yeah, I can just see it happen. I don't know why. I don't have any particular reason why. It's just somebody in my waters tells me Penrith don't win this game.
Oh, look, the thing is as well, Rabbits will be stinging to get them back. Just I see what you mean. I'm gonna take the Panthers.
Okay.
I think the Panthers don't lose 3 in a row. I'm counting the World Club Challenge as a loss. I don't think the Panthers come out there.
I think they do.
You know what is weird as well? Last 2 games have been 13-12. Odd shit.
It's weird. I don't think about that. That's odd.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Panthers do get the job done. They've just got too much quality. And look, Latrell's carrying a PCL injury. Does he play this week? I mean, I suppose I'm not sure what their draw is. They might have the bye in a couple of weeks and give him a week off there, because I have seen they don't expect him to miss any time. You can play through a PCL, so we'll see. That's what's hard about tipping. The team list come out tomorrow. We might have completely different ideas how it's going to happen. But yeah, I'm going to go against you, and I'm going to tip the Panthers. Eels versus Sharkies at Combank Stadium. How do you see this one coming? This is another huge game.
Yeah, this will be a really good game, and I've got Parramatta winning it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's 2 teams that imagine Eels or the Sharks, 2 top 4 teams from last year being 0-2 to start the year. And it's
do the Sharks have Nico Hines back? Do we know yet?
Well, that's it. That's the thing. With the tipping, it's so hard. I think so. I've heard reports that it's worse than what they initially thought. But I've also heard reports that he's going to play this week. So
half injury, is it not?
Yeah, yes. I have to wait and see. I feel like at the start of the season, if he's touch and go, you rest him.
I don't feel like calves are that important. Sure, he can play. I don't have any. I feel like play through it.
I think, but if you look at it from the Sharks' perspective, right? You could either worry about going 0-2 and rushing back, and him do it again and be out for 6 months, or you let him rest another couple of weeks and have him when it's crunch time. I think, if you're smart, you let him rest, and I think the Eels get the win because of that.
See, as if I was a coach, 0-2 doesn't worry me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the results. I'm worried about the team's combinations, how they're playing.
Yeah, it's how you play, not the result. I think in these type of games.
In the first sort of 3 to 4 rounds. After that, you start worrying about if you haven't won any. Then you start going, oh shit. But if you can see the team improving and gelling and that, and you just you lose closely in the first couple of games, you're not super worried about it. You're confident you can turn it around and win, come deeper in the season. So I rest Nico Hines if I'm the coach.
Yeah, I agree. We'll move on to the second Friday night game of the round, the first Queensland derby of the year, and an absolute ripper. Two teams that won by 1 point last week. Broncos versus Cowboys at Suncorp Stadium. I've got no idea how it's going to play out. But I know for sure I'll have to be watching it because it's got to be unmissable. So, do your best.
Oh, I stared at these two names on my phone screen for about 5 minutes, just with no idea. Just 50-50 flip of a coin, Broncos. But I don't know.
That's it. Like, it's just such an unknown. I think the Broncos are such I don't know if they're gonna be hot or cold this year. Like what the go is. It's so hard to tip against them when they just beat the Panthers. Like they have so much confidence, and then the Cowboys just beat the Raiders. So expected to pump. Reece Walsh, I think, is going to be back.
Yep.
So how does that play out for the Broncos? It's just there's so many variables. I'm gonna tip the Cowboys. I'm gonna tip with what I trust. I'm gonna go the Cowboys.
Okay, all right, that's a good. So, I was so close to taking either. I had no idea really.
Yeah, that's me. Like I feel like it's gonna be one of those ones you look at, like you go to do tipping and it's 50-50 down the middle.
Yeah, absolutely anything could happen.
Yeah. And another game where, look, anything. Like if they play the way they did last week, anything could happen. Roosters versus Warriors. This is, I think, being played at Allianz Stadium. Look, the Warriors nearly got their number last year. And they had a lot less a team. Roosters did look awful, notoriously bad starters. Can the Warriors do the Dolphins and run at the top of the Roosters, or do you see like the Roosters find their mojo?
I see the Roosters finding their mojo. I could say it's not inconceivable that the Warriors win. I think there's a possibility, but the logical side of my brain says no, the Roosters win.
Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure as well. Joey Manu will be back. I'm just like looking at him looking up at the moment, how he will, because he was racing the clock for round one. So I'm pretty sure he'll be back. Like Joseph Manu, that team, their backline looks a lot better. Unfortunately, Warriors fans, I think you get humbled a little bit there.
Yeah.
But that takes us to Dolphins. Fins up. Get your fin up.
Fins up.
Get your fin up. Dolphins versus the Raiders at KO Stadium, so up at Redcliffe. What do you see happening here?
I got the Dolphins winning again. Fins up, baby.
Fins up, baby.
Baby. I love them. I can't tip against them. I love them. I've just got the Dolphins. I got the Dolphins doing it. I got the Dolphins winning. Yeah, I just at KO Stadium, Morton Daly Stadium, whatever you want to call it, which it's like I know their first home game was at Suncorp, but their first home game at their proper home.
Yeah, their first home game.
Yeah, I think it'll be. Yeah, I reckon the Dolphins will be too good.
Look, I was gonna say, like, I feel like the Dolphins and the Raiders are actually quite similar teams in terms of they just play hard footy, tough footy. Joseph Tarpanay is a big variable for me. I think if Tarpanay is selected to play, I'm probably gonna go the Raiders. If not, I'm gonna go the Dolphins. I'm gonna sit on the fence for now.
Get down off your fence, brother. No, make a call.
I really want to put my fin up, but I think the fin might have to stay down. I think the
Boo! Put your fin up.
Raiders. I'll take the Raiders.
You're not a fan. Put your fin up, dog.
No. Hey, you know what I really want, but one of those fins.
I saw a video of someone like sculling a beer out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so sick. I want one, man.
Long gone the shoey. Let's get the finny going.
Get the finny. Fins up, fins down. More like it.
That's outrageous. That's so stupid. I think we both know the result of this game. Storm versus Bulldogs. How do you see that one going?
I say the Storms running all over them.
Yes, I think down in Melbourne, the Storm win, and then that puts the Bulldogs at 0-2 after all the hype and everything coming out. And I think that's where, depending how they lose, if they lose the same way they did last year, that's where it's a different 0-2 compared to who loses the Eels Sharks game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if they get another 20 odd points put on them, like if they lose by another 20 odd, you're not liking the look of it as a Dogs fan, are you?
No, you're starting to worry. You're starting to get a bit nervous in all them kebab and shisha shops across Belmore and Bankstown, you're starting to worry a bit.
Well, I say that. I then had a look at who they're versing next week, and they got the Tigers, so easy win there.
Oh, easy dubs, bro.
Yeah, so don't even worry about it.
Pause up. Yeah.
Pause up. Dogs are what? Arr. Yeah.
Ah!
The Sunday games. God, I hate the fact that both our teams are part of just the games. Tigers versus the Newcastle Knights. I Tiger.
I think
No,
Knights
well,
get
hang on. Knights. I think I'd be hopeful for them getting the win.
if they don't give the win, dead set, I'll throw away all the Newcastle jerseys that I've got in my wardrobe and I'll fill them with Redcliffe jerseys. No, I won't.
Ah,
No, I've been through too much for the Knights now. I watched them get 3 wooden spoons in a row and haven't quit. So I'm not going
yeah,
to give up.
that's it. I think like the forward pack matchup here is like crucial because that's the best part of the Tigers team. Like I think their outside backs are still quite lacking. I think Tommy Talau definitely won't play. He like looked like he was in all sorts in the last game. And then you've got for the Knights, Dane Gagai. I think if he comes back, then like as I said, like the outside backs are all over him. So Bradman Best and Dane Gagai in the centers. And you're looking at like a lot better. Hopefully that means the GOAT will go back on the wing rather than playing the centers and Heimel Hunt can get the fuck out of there. But
Greg Marju can, yeah.
no, Tawala, baby. Get him on the sting.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah. No,
Greg Marju's dealing with a hip pointer injuries, and they are nasty. So give him some weeks.
Also, I just think tip David Clemmer to have a big game. I think
yeah,
against the Knights, the old team that played him sort of off the bench and didn't really want him, I tip him to fucking stand up and really have a go. I think he's in for a big game, David Clemmer. That's my sneaky little tip.
that's a good point. What do you reckon? Anytime?
No, he won't score a try, but
Nah, go on. He'd be paying like
David Clemmer
$10.
scored a try. I'd like to know.
I'll get back to you. Go to the last game of the round, and how is this for scheduling? I wait 6 months. Well, not that long, but it feels like it. 6 months for footy to come back. Don't get to watch my team play round one. I wait till Sunday 6:15 p.m. to watch them have like to get around, like have a trot around the park. You fucking serious? But Dragons versus Titans. Please don't humiliate me too much. But what do you reckon is going to happen?
Titans. I think the Titans win.
You reckon? Look,
I get one, a decent win against the Tigers. I honestly, sorry to say, so I don't think the Dragons are that much better than the Tigers.
Ouch.
Ouch. Yeah, that hurts. That should hurt.
No, and I'm not used to us being this bad.
Get used to it.
I think I'm going to have to. But I don't know. I've just got a good feeling. Start of the year. I mean, I say that, but then I did watch the Charity Shield. I don't know. I just hope they go out and play good. Jack Bird's there, going to be playing 13. Fingers crossed. So I've had some like early mail come in about the Dragons side. Sullivan's going to be playing 6.
Yeah.
Jack DeBellin is out.
Ooh, that's a
which
big
means our boy Couchman is making his NRL debut.
Piss off.
Yeah.
Gee, which Ryan or
Toby, I believe, the one who
Toby.
killed it in the Charity Shield.
Really? That's awesome. Toby Couchman. Shit. That's my for those my younger brother played with him in in rep sides when they were younger, and from all accounts he's a very nice young man. He's from Thirroul. Got a real good head on his shoulders. I'm super stoked for him if that's the case. I really hope he does well.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
And so the Couchman twins' younger brother and old man actually have messaged me in the DMs and stuff a few times. They just honestly seem like a lovely family. Like the old man's such a nice dude. So is the younger brother. They just seem like, and they're so stoked for him. I think like that's the one thing that I'm like sort of looking forward to with the Dragons this year. Even if we just stink, I think that there's going to be a lot of young blokes get given a run this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I'm sick of watching our retirement village team go out there and losing the ruck. But
yeah, Sharon Woods and freaking all that. I don't even know who else plays in your team.
Yeah, no one really that crash hot. So yeah, hopefully Toby goes out there and has a really good game. It'd be a bit embarrassing if we're doing all this and it's Ryan that's playing, but I'm pretty sure it's Toby. He's the one who played under 19s last year for the Blues and stuff. So like he's got a bit about him. Fingers crossed he goes well. Kieran Foran is probably going to be out for the Titans as well. He did his PCL. I don't know why. So like, I study physio, and PCLs are very, very rarely injured. And there was 2 on the weekend. I'm like, what's going on?
Odd, isn't it?
So I was like, that's a bit weird, but you sort of can play through it, depending how you go. But then also at the same time, Kieran Foran's body's been that bashed up, so he actually might not be able to play through it. But then like, if he's not there, I'm a little bit more confident, a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, if he's not there, I think you can be a little bit cheeky, a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
More than a little bit.
To be fair, Dragons are favourites with the bookies.
What?
Yeah.
Bookies are off their heads. Dragons are shit.
It is also at Cogra.
Who cares? That's not even their real home ground.
I know. Anyway, I don't want to go on a massive rant about that. We've been doing this podcast for long enough. So that's our tips for this weekend. Unless you've got anything else to say there, Dana, I think we wrap it up there.
I agree with you. Let's wrap it up. That's me wrapping it up. Let's wrap
wrap this shit up. All right. See you guys.